Election night 2014. I'm Mike Fitzsimmons. Thanks for joining us this evening. If you want to comment, 326-9200. State numbers and county numbers are now coming out, and we're going to go over them. At first, let's go over the 5th Congressional District race. And for the entire district, Cathy McMorris Rodgers currently has a 57.8% to 42.2% lead over Joe Pacotis. And Cathy McMorris Rodgers joins us now live. Representative McMorris Rodgers, good evening to you. It looks as though things are going well tonight.
Good evening. Great to be with you. Yes, there's some good wins, some important wins. Pleased with the numbers here coming out for my race as well as all across the country. And, it's been a hard-fought campaign, and it's important as we work through this process to hear from people, hear what's on their minds, and to get to a place where we can move forward and make this a better community.
If indeed the Senate goes Republican tonight, and it's 5/6 of the way as we speak, and there are 4 or 5 races, all of which could bring in that 6th seat, and it appears as though one of them will before the night is over at least. What is this going to mean in terms of how the Republican Party cooperates, both Senate and House? And also, what do they hold out to the president for the future in terms of key legislation the public wants work on?
Well, the president has already invited the leadership down to for lunch on Friday, so we'll start those conversations with the president. For the Republicans, both the House and the Senate, we believe it is important that we are governing and showing the American people through our agenda what that vision is that we have for America and for every person in this country. And our top priority is centered around policies that are going to strengthen our economy and really grow our economy from the bottom up and unleash that entrepreneurial spirit, the thousands of small businesses across this country, the entrepreneurs, and that's the way that we grow our economy, we create jobs and create opportunities.
Of course, the first questions that Democrats are going to, or Republicans rather, going to have to ask themselves if they in fact take over from the Democrats in the Senate is, are we going to be able to hold this 2 years from now? Because if there isn't any better performance on the part of the Congress under Republican stewardship than there was at the beginning of tonight's elections, it's just as possible that the Senate could be lost again.
That's very true. It's we have been entrusted with the majorities in the House and the Senate. We have to take this responsibility very seriously. We need to demonstrate the way that we go about solving problems, getting our economy growing, saying yes to American energy, a path forward on health care, how we're going to balance the budget. That is the task that's going to be before us, and this is an opportunity that we've been given to demonstrate how we would go about doing that, and then we're going to have to go to work to get the job done.
I'm sure as a member of the leadership in the House, it hasn't been lost on you that essentially the voters tonight appear to have run away from the Democrats, but they haven't exactly run to embrace the Republicans. So what kind of work has to be done?
Well, with this, I'm encouraged that in the House it looks like we're set to pick up 10 seats, which I believe is partly a tribute to the work that we've been doing in the House. We've been very much focused on American solutions, and that's what people want. And they don't want just Republican solutions. They want us to be focusing on what's good and right for America, and then getting the job done. And so as a member of the leadership team in the House, we have been committed to doing this. I'm excited about having now a partner in the Senate where we would actually be able to move many bills onto the president's desk and really negotiate with the Senate or with the president on major issues. But on others, we can get Keystone, for example. We can get that through the Senate with a Republican majority in the Senate with bipartisan support. This is something that has broad support. Most people recognize that this pipeline makes sense for America, makes sense for helping us be energy independent in America. And Republicans and Democrats support it. It's simply been because Harry Reid, as majority leader, wouldn't bring it up for a vote. that's going to change.
Do you expect that there are some things that are non-negotiable and that the president will challenge you on? And if that is the case, how do you work that out? Is there any possibility, for example, that coalitions could be built in either the House or the Senate or both that could overturn a presidential veto on some items?
Well, I think it could be possible. The president has a decision to make how he's going to approach the next 2 years. It's the final 2 years of his time as president, and I think about an issue like immigration reform, for example. I'm going to be impressing upon the president. It's very important that he not issue an executive order in the next few weeks on immigration. If he wants to work on immigration and work together to fix what is a broken immigration system, it starts by not issuing this executive order, starting to build some trust. I was encouraged to get the invite to go down to the White House on Friday and start opening up some lines of communication. We need to do more of that and really figure out where we can find some common ground to be moving forward to solve problems and get the job done for the people that we represent. What's the number one thing that you do now that it appears as though your reelection is more than likely secure? As a member of the leadership, what is your first job when you return to the Capitol? Well, our first job, interestingly enough, it's going to be reorganizing and working through the lame duck session, and some of that certainly will be determined by how the president decides to approach the next few weeks. But we need to finish this lame duck. There's issues related to the budget that need to be finished, and other issues. Some of the tax extenders will be debated, and potentially some other issues that we'll wrap up in the lame duck. But then very quickly, so we're in session for the next 2 weeks. Next week we go back into session for 2 weeks, and then we'll have a lame duck of some kind going into December, and then the new Congress starts immediately after the new year. All right, so now it appears as though it's been a good night for the Republicans, but there's still an awful lot of work that lies ahead. Cathy McMorris, Rodgers, we appreciate your time tonight. Congratulations. Thank you.
It appears you have retained your seat again.
Thank you.
All right, the fifth